realize everyone at work wanted you dead. I never understood why people stayed silent about workplace abuse until I became the victim. I worked with this hotshot lawyer Sterling, who everyone worshipped like he walked on water. At first, Sterling seemed like the perfect mentor. He would pull me into high-profile cases and tell everyone she's got what it takes to make partner before 30. Everything changed at the office Christmas party. Sterling cornered me by the elevators after a few drinks, leaning in so close I could practically count the freckles on his nose. His breath was all whiskey and secrets. I bet you've never felt a spark like this before, he slurred, grinning way too wide while boxing me in with his arm against the wall. You keep pretending you don't want this, but I see right through you. We could be dangerous together. The next Monday felt like entering an alternate universe. My assistant Sarah wouldn't make eye contact. Other associates who used to chat suddenly found their shoes fascinating whenever I walked by. My friend Sam grabbed my arm and hustled me into an empty conference room, her eyes darting around like we were being followed. Sterling's telling everyone you've been hitting on him, she whispered, scrolling frantically through her phone. She shoved it in my hands, showing me a group chat lit up with screenshots of texts, except they were all twisted, cropped to make it look like I'd been sending him desperate messages. A couple were real, most were totally fake, but the whole thing looked damning as hell. Everyone thinks you're obsessed. That's when Sterling's real campaign started. I came in the next morning and my desk was shoved against a drafty window, piled high with old files like I'd been banished. Sticky notes started popping up on my computer and inside my bag. Just quit already. You're embarrassing yourself. My email kept pinging with invites to late night meetings that I definitely didn't make. And then someone started forwarding my old emails to random team members with snarky subject lines. I felt like the office itself was turning against me. When my colleague Mike saw them, he shook his head. Jesus, you really need to move on from this guy. I tried explaining they weren't from me, but Mike just walked away. The psychological warfare got worse. Sterling somehow accessed my personnel file and added fake performance issues. When I finally worked up courage to file an HR complaint, Director Linda listened with skeptical eyes. 2 hours later, she called me back. We found this in your desk during a routine check, she said, sliding a bottle of vodka across the table. You're going on leave for substance abuse. That night, my phone buzzed with unknown numbers. Voices whispered crazy bitch before hanging up. My address had been posted online with claims I was stalking a married man. I was ready to disappear until I found something that saved my life. A secret chat group of former employees. One woman named Jessica had survived Sterling 3 years earlier. He destroyed my reputation, but I kept evidence, she told me. We can stop him, but only together. Here's what Sterling didn't know. Jessica had secretly recorded him bragging to another partner. Nobody ever believes the crazy ones, his voice said clearly through her phone. We had him. We pulled together every weird thing that had happened. Notes, fake meetings, emails, and handed it all to HR, along with the names of others who'd seen the same crap happen. It took a while, but the office rumor mill finally spun the other way. People started talking, quietly at first, about stuff Sterling had pulled before. Eventually, he just didn't show up one Monday, and the whole place felt lighter, like someone had opened a window. The firm's board held emergency meetings with pure panic in their eyes, but the moment that made everything worth it happened in the courthouse. Sterling was led away in handcuffs and looked over at me right before they took him through the door. For the first time since this nightmare started, his eyes showed fear instead of that smug arrogance. Sterling got 5 years for cyberstalking and witness tampering. The firm was completely restructured and several senior partners went down with him. I started a legal defense fund and now spend my time helping other victims escape their toxic situations.